Hey, I wanted to hop on this video really quickly to go over a topic that has come up a lot recently with working with many of our clients, especially those coaches and consultants who are trying to package their knowledge and bring it to the marketplace, through different like high ticket offers. So, the title of this video is actually launching a high ticket offer in a crowded market. And so I wanted to talk about three things that you really need to have nailed down in order to get your signature solution, your big thing that you sell out there in the world, and really why that is. So, first secret, you need to have the right messaging. So, this means like when people say, oh, you got to get your messaging, you got to get your positioning, you need to, reposition or whatever yourself. When people are saying that, what they actually mean is that you're selling the wrong thing. So whenever you're putting together your offer, when you're putting together whatever it is that you want to bring into the marketplace, you need to understand you're not selling the process necessarily. It's good to have the process nailed down, which we'll talk about later. But when you are explaining to someone what you can do for them, you want to focus on the transformation. So, for example, fitness trainers, right? We'll take fitness trainers for an example. You're selling somebody the transformation of them losing a lot of weight and looking good in their dresses or their suits or getting fit and healthy. You're not really selling them on, running 5 miles a day or, the fancy equipment that you have in your gym to get them to their goals. You're selling that weight loss and the before and after. That is what you have to remind yourself of when you're putting together your offer. So, what transformation are you wanting your client to see after they work with you? For us, we say elevate someone's brand. We elevate their brand. We help them sell more with confidence. A lot of times when we work with clients, the reason that they haven't done ads yet, or they don't have a sales funnel in place, or they don't have their online presence up leveled where they have a photo shoot done of them or something like that. It's all typically, if it's not financial, if they have the resources to do these things, it's usually fear based. So we're selling people on we're increasing sales for people. So we're selling time, we're saving people time, we're saving people energy, we're providing an expertise that people may not have, either on their team or themselves personally. But you'd be surprised how many people that we work with who put their own website together. They did their own logo. They picked out the color format. They picked out the fonts. They didn't really think about the fonts. They just kind of did whatever. And so we come in and we elevate their brand and we put them up to a level where they can sell higher ticket offers. They are showing a process on the back end that works. And so messaging that and make sure you're selling the right thing is important. So that's secret number one. Secret number two, having the right price. So a lot of people are going to tell you, especially over the last year or two, that your sweet spot on pricing is $1,000 for a course. If you're selling any kind of online course, a lot of people are doing the $997. Some are now saying $1,497. The rule of thumb that we like to talk to people about is $3,000 to $5,000 for your program. So what we would do is take that course that you've recorded and put online and organized, you add a coaching component and maybe a mastermind, something else on top of it, that you can offer to the same, group of people who already love what you're doing, but you're giving them your one-on-one time, which is really valuable. Because if you're selling something, I mean, obviously we're assuming that you're selling something you know how to do for people. We're talking about, people who already have a set thing. If you're starting out and you haven't worked with any other clients, we can help you too with that. But if you're already knowing what you're an expert in and you're trying to package your knowledge and you're trying to sell something that you know how to do really well, a transformation, then you should be charging a higher fee. Because here's the thing. One thing that Aaron Fletcher talks about is somebody, I did his program, and I'm a partner coach, certified coach with them. They talk a lot about the 1% rule. Aaron does. And he says, if the worst case scenario happened and only 1% of your people converted and your offer is only $1,000, you're going to break even on $1,000 ad spend. But if you do the 1% rule and your price point is $3,000 to $5,000, really you want to aim for the $5,000 package, then you're not breaking even anymore. And here's the problem. If you don't have enough to pay taxes on the money that you're earning, to pay staff members to help you implement it, to pay for the ad spend itself, all those things have to come into account, any software that you might need. So it might sound like a high ticket offer, but if you've spent 15 years or more in a certain area and you can get transformation for someone, then you shouldn't be afraid to ask for that. And a lot of people now are offering payments, either half up front, half on the back end. We have a financing company we partnered with, so people can go on there and they can get financed through that. And they have like 6 months to pay. And they can set up their own monthly thing with that company. And it doesn't affect me because I'll get paid and then they just pay it back to that finance company. And so there's a lot you can do nowadays, and it's really great. So I would think through it, be creative. Do not be afraid of charging a bigger price, because you're going to naturally give a better quality service when you charge more. There's even people, some people have a $10,000 package. Some people are charging $20,000 just to build out one sales funnel. And when I say just, I mean sales funnels can get very complicated, and especially retargeting funnels and things that have multiple email loops and different pathways. It's not easy. So I understand why some people who are experts in funnel building are charging a small fortune, because it is, once you set it up, it's small tweaks from there and you're going to have recurring revenue coming in. So, for a $5,000 investment with us, you're going to have a business that's going to make its money back. And some of our clients, they get their money back within a month of rebrand, of launching everything and doing things differently and following some of our strategies. So when you know that you can provide a result that's tangible, that is duplicatable, that is valuable, that's what you focus on. What am I taking? They're going to care about the journey with you once you sign them up as a client. But in the beginning, they're like, oh my gosh, I need someone to build me a website. Well, great. Anybody could build you a website for cheap on Fiverr, but do you want a website that actually converts? Do you want a website that's branded properly, that does all cohesive with everything else that you're doing? And some of that comes with, it comes with time. You'll figure this out over time, but you definitely do not want to be in a race for the bottom where you're just trying to be less than the next competitor, because there's always someone willing to do something for free, or $10 or $20. You don't want to be that, because it's much more difficult to climb up to the higher dollar amount later on. So think $5,000 package to start with, if that's the most you've ever charged anyone. And think about what you would want to see, the value you would want to see brought to you for that amount of money. And it can be group coaching. Ours is group coaching with a series of phone calls scheduled with the person one-on-one, so that we can look at their stuff individually. So yes, it's a bigger investment, but they have time to pay it back, and they get one-on-one, like a concierge service type thing. So, okay. I did a lot on number 2 because pricing is such a stumper. Like, people get really stumped on it. Number 3 is having the right process. So secret number 1, right messaging, focus on transformation. Secret number 2, having the right pricing, charging based on value, not based on the hours that you spend. And then the third one is the right process. So we talked about process a little bit. I mentioned it in the beginning of the video. Process of customer journey. So when they sign up and say, yep, I'm going to give you my credit card here, I want to work with you, what is the next step? And then what is the next step? And then what is the next step? And it has to be mapped out. And every little sub-step should be mapped out as well. A lot of times, even but business owners in general, when they're just working on getting the work done for their clients, they're not always documenting the processes that they're doing for their client. Their head is so automated because they've done it before that they don't document each step, and they don't have it in a way that's organized. And so in their mind, they're just like, okay, I'm going to blaze through all these tasks and get it done and this and that. So what I would say is write down everything that you do for your client in the order in which it is to be done, and then have sub bullets, and then put in there, okay, on the first phone call that we do is going to be an onboarding call. What key points do we want to share with them? Maybe you want to show them the membership area or the course login area, or you want to give them the points of contact if they need help. So like a support email, a phone number to call, a person to reach out to. I would rather have someone get an email where they get my whole team. Most places will do that, especially when they're onboarding multiple clients all the time. So those are some of the onboarding things you want to talk to them about. How to communicate with you, how to access everything that they get access to, and what to do, what order should they be doing things in for their particular situation. Sometimes you meet a client and your solution is so comprehensive, but they're already past like the first 5 steps because they've already been in business, or they already know how to do it, or that's already somehow set. So then you might want to take them through a different pathway than the other people. So if there's any variations in your normal routine, share that with them on the onboarding call. And then after the onboarding call, then what, right? So share how you're going to communicate, which is like, are you going to do weekly calls with them for the group? Are you going to, how do they call into the group? And what is the topic for each phone call? And is there homework assignments that are on a schedule, or is it a rolling enrollment basis? So you have to make all those decisions. Some people like to do cohorts, and they are like, I'm going to have a 12-person class from January to March, and at the end of March, I'm taking a break, and then we're going to launch again, and we're going to start in May. June, July, we're going to do another group, 12 people, and then more high ticket. I've seen it done multiple different ways. We do a rolling enrollment, but I've seen it done different ways, and it works just fine. Some people do 2 classes a year. Then they do an in-person retreat, so they're not constantly online all year long. And the retreats are more, $10,000, $8,000 to $10,000 retreat. They fly in, 2 days of serious work gets done, and then some fun, and then they go home. So there's seriously no limit to how you can serve people, as long as you can show them the transformation, like we talked about on the first bullet point. So I'm going to add a couple of links in this video, because what's the point of these videos, right? We're talking about your messaging and pricing and process, but these videos that you create, you can make one like this to show your potential clients exactly what it is that you do, how you do it, and some tips and tricks. I recommend doing at least 9. When we do a signature solution, we do 1 for each level. So, figure out what 9 steps that you do to get to your final destination with your client from point A to point B. And then create 1 video per step, and boom, you've got 9 videos that you can use to put on YouTube, share on social media, that kind of thing. And if you only did 1 a month or 1 a week, it gives you quite a bit of content to go on for a while. So I hope that helps you. Again, I'm going to put in some links, a case study of one of our clients that we did this with, and it was probably one of the most simple things. I mean, we overthought it a lot because she wanted to do a whole bunch of stuff, and then quickly realized that her world would be better if she simplified some of the things she wanted to do. Maybe don't do it yet. So we did a very basic rebrand for her, and it's something that any startup could do. It's on Wix website builder, which we normally do not do it. She's just happens to know her very, very well. And so I said, you know what? If you're comfortable editing Wix, we'll just redesign this in Wix, and then you can continue editing it how you want to. Because the main package that she was interested in purchasing is the rebrand package. So we didn't spend a whole lot of time on the web. We mostly figured out how can clients work with her during COVID and stuff. And we just redid her online presence in a very simple way. Like, her website has 3 pages. And just that shift, she had a massive increase in sales. She thought she was going to lose her business in March. And then April got scarier. And then we launched our website and her whole world changed. And it was a 3-page website. It's an awesome story. She's so excited. And she's so busy now that I haven't talked to her in a while. She's so busy. So I definitely need to touch base with her and see how she's doing. But I wanted to share her case study with you. I did a video on Facebook about it. I'm going to also link to a strategy session that you can book with us if you want to. 15-minute strategy session. Ask us anything. And then a call to action for the download. We did a 2021 marketing planner that should help you plan out your content for the year. Whether it's podcast, email, whatever, the topics, and then check block what after you find the topic, you create it in all different formats, and then you check the block down the list. That way you have the same consistent messaging on all of your platforms. And so we hope that's helpful for you. And we're here. We're here anytime you need help. But I hope that helped at least a little. So don't overthink it. Think simple. And just serve your clients the best you can in the simplest way that you can, because that's all people want, right? We want to buy something and get something that we're looking for. Anything else is just extra. So have a great rest of your day or night, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll catch you on the next one.